guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back, welcome, come in to my channel, my home here on the internet. Today's video is an exciting one. Well, anytime that I talk about palettes, it's very exciting for me because I just love palettes. I love eyeshadows, and yeah. So if just want to know if you like this look and you want to know what I put on my face, I will link it up in the cards. I was working with the pumpkin spice palette. Feeling a little spicy today, a little fall-y, and trying out a new foundation. Although I didn't say that in the video, but mostly it was focused on a pumpkin spicy look. Okay, so for today's video, we're going to be talking about discontinued limited edition palettes that I wish are still in stock, so that everybody could get a chance to try these, to grab these, because they were so good. They are so good, but unfortunately, save for one, they're all unavailable. And it breaks my heart. Some more than others, but it breaks my heart. But before that, let's take care of some housekeeping things. I hope you consider subscribing if you haven't already. And if you're a new subscriber, welcome. Thank you for subscribing. It really means a lot to me. Like, I get so happy when I see that I have new subscribers and then you guys are watching the videos I'm making. And if you do like the videos that I'm making, the content, please give the video a like so I know. Also, please don't forget to follow me on the Instagram. So with that, let's go ahead and get started with this fun one. I'm so excited because I get to spotlight some beautiful palettes that it's kind of hard to, because if you don't have them, then you know, what's the point? Okay, all right, with that, let's go ahead and start with the first one. So the first one that I have, mother of pearl. The first one I have here is from Juvia's Place. And it's the Tribe. Now, I saw this is still on the website, but a lot of people are saying that it's discontinued, and to be honest, it says sold out, and it's been saying sold out for a very long time. I think for months at this point, and at one point it wasn't even on the website, and then it got back on the website. So officially it's still on the website, but everybody's saying that it's discontinued. So that's why I included it in this palette, in this video. So here it is. I will do the reason that I love this one. I think this is super unique. It constitutes a little bit of fall right here, but then you have these neons that you can use as inner corner highlights, or maybe you just want to do an all over neon look. And honestly, I don't have any neons except these three in my collection, so I think that's pretty cool. This palette was pretty ahead of its time, to be honest, because when I got it, I think it was 2 years, because this is the first video that I posted like way back, and then I quit for a while and then I came back. This is the palette that I used for my first video, and I used a combination of these and this one too. This is like a mustardy yellow, but it almost has like a neon undertone, and it's so beautiful. And of course you have the orange, and you can probably combine these and tone down that neon orange if you want to, but this is so good. And we know that Juvia's Place formula is amazing, and they always have such beautiful covers. Next palette up is from ABH, and it's such a quintessential fall palette. As of when I did the fall palettes, it was available, but it officially has been discontinued. As of this video, it has been discontinued. I don't know if it's maybe on Beautylish. I didn't check Beautylish, but I doubt it. Usually ABH is the last one to have any leftover stock. And that's it, guys. If you didn't pick it up, I'm so sorry, but that's why this is in the video. Look at this beautiful palette. This one is one of my favorite palettes in my entire collection. The formula goes above and beyond ABH quality. The shimmers are so beautiful, and it's such a unique color story. Like, that is a very unique color story. And honestly, the outside packaging is beautiful. She did such an amazing job, and I wish it had been limited edition, and I wish it had more of a spotlight than it did, because I felt like, oh, she came out with it, and then boom, Carly Bible palette, and it's like neither one had enough spotlight on their palette and on their beautiful color stories. And then I just don't feel like there was enough time. I think they just did everything with the blink of an eye, and they just kept it moving. So love this palette. All right, next one up is from e.l.f. and this is almost 2 years old, I believe, and this is from their Modern Metals collection. And this is a collection, not necessarily Modern Metals, but they always do this like collab with a couple of influencers, and they come up with different ideas of what to create for this little collection, like a limited edition collection. Like this was this year's, I don't remember last year's, but this year's, so this was 2017, no, lie, 2019. This was 2019. 2020 was the Retro Paradise collection, and then next year is going to be something with music or something. I forgot. But yeah, they always do some limited edition that they collaborate with a couple of influencers that they pick through a contest. I think that's really a special way to collaborate with people who really showcase their talents and really deserve it. But the reason that I love this particular palette is because it's known as it's a dupe for the Dominique Cosmetics Latte palette, the original one, and I don't have that one. So I mean, I've just heard, but if you just kind of look at it and you compare pictures online, I mean, of course it's not the best, but you have these beautiful like shimmers, and these are very soft shimmers, but yet they're still intense, and you can definitely build them up if you feel it's not intense enough. And then you have these beautiful pops of color, and I just think this is such a fall palette. But or anytime really, I've used it anytime. I just omit using the blue and the purple, and then I use all these neutrals, and then I'll pop one of these on the lid, and it is so pretty. Just a soft everyday look that you can go for, and it's such a good quality. It was such a good quality palette, and I'm just so sad that they have these little collections and they discontinue them, and then if you don't get it, it's gone. The same thing with the Retro Paradise collection. If you didn't get it, it's gone. I think there's still a couple items on the e.l.f. website, but for the most part, it's gone. Alright, next up we have Colourpop. Now this one, they came out with the same palette cover as this other one at the same time. Like they released like these palettes back to back. This was back in 2017. No, 2000, yeah, fall 2017. Yeah, fall 2017. It feels like such a long time ago, to be honest. So it was this one and Give It To Me, no, not Give It To Me Straight, Double Entendre palette. These were the two that they released back to back, and I purchased both because they were just coming out with palettes and it was a new thing for them, and I love Colourpop. I continue to love Colourpop, although I do still think they need to slow down on their collections, but it is what it is. And the reason that obviously this palette was discontinued, I think around sometime last year, but this palette continues to be very special to me, and I know it doesn't have a lot of mattes, but the shimmers are so good in this palette. And if you have this palette, you know what I'm talking about. Like these shimmers are high-end quality, luxury quality. They're beautiful. Like they are some of the best shimmers that Colourpop has ever come out with. The closest ones to this, I would say the ones in the Going Coconuts collection, they started to kind of come back to this, but these are so shimmery and buttery. The shimmers are so beautiful. The mattes are their standard formula right there, but the shimmers are, oh my god, they are beautiful. These are intense shimmers. Now they look a little soft there, but when you put them on the eye, they're pretty intense. When I apply these, and if I want to go for a softer look, I have to kind of go in with a light hand and just kind of tap it on there, because these are very intense. They're like, they go on there like that. You don't have to really struggle with getting them to show up or anything like that. The total opposite, which is not a bad thing. I think this is a beautiful, and it's a very unique color scheme, especially if you were you're a neutral lover. This was definitely the palette to pick up, and I love it. The shimmers are a little intimidating at the beginning, especially at the beginning. Not so much now, but the beginning when I first started getting more into makeup again, I was like, what do I do with these? So yeah, definitely. Alright, next up I'm gonna do, okay, so next up is going to be another one from ABH, and this is Sultry. We all know and love this palette, and I'm really glad that I got this one. I actually got this one after the fact. I didn't pick it up right away when everybody was talking about how good it was. I actually ended up purchasing it like from Macy's when it was on discount, and when I received it, I was like, oh, I mean, it would have been worth it even if I hadn't gotten it on discount, but just that added bonus of saving money, it just like, yes, cha-ching, you know. But definitely, again, to me, the the heroes or the standouts in this palette are going to be the shimmers. The shimmers, they really outdid themselves with these shimmers. This should have been their formula going forward, especially with their shimmers. Their mattes are really extra creamy in this palette, but the shimmers are so beautiful. Actually, now that I think about it, hold on. Oh no, where is that? I never thought to compare these, but these are actually kind of similar. A couple of the similar shades here. Hold on. Yeah, like this one looks kind of similar right there. A little bit not so similar. Maybe on the eye they would be. One's a little bit more gold, the one's a little bit more icy. But they kind of have the same kind of tones. I wish one of them was available, but you know, kind of, I never realized that. I guess because I never thought to put them up against each other. But yeah, love this. And I mean, the packaging too is one of the best packaging that they've done. It's so beautiful, so glam, so holiday, which is when they released it. Alrighty, next up is another Colourpop, because that's when I have more. You guys know that as much as Colourpop pumps them out is as much as Colourpop is discontinuing at the same time. So, oh, this one broke my heart when it was discontinued. Broke my heart. This one and another one that are coming up, I felt my heart hurt. I know it's just makeup, it's not serious, but it really did hurt my heart, because if I was ever to need a backup, it was gone, and they were just such special color stories. Like, this is nothing like Colourpop has done good. Oh, I haven't even told you what it is. It's the Good Sport palette, and this is nothing like Colourpop has ever done before this and then after this. Like Colourpop on its own. So to me, that's why this palette is so special. Like, this is beautiful, and if you could take it out of the packaging, you could see even more how beautiful it is, because I feel like this background almost mutes how beautiful, and the colors that are in here, it almost mutes it. But oh my goodness, it is a beautiful palette. Like, you have these quintessential fall colors that you're just like, yummy fall goodness. And I'm so glad that I own this. There are a lot of palettes now that have this kind of color scheme, but nothing compares to this, where everything is encompassed in this one palette. It's like my perfect little fall palette. Oh, I miss it. I wish Colourpop would bring it back, or some kind of version for it. Fingers crossed, eventually one day, right? Alright, next up is going to be this one from Milani. Now, oh, okay, this one is okay, next up is going to be the Milani Soft and Sultry. I mean, you won't be able to see it because it's so reflective, but they discontinued all the ones that were with the hard packaging, or the plastic packaging. Milani discontinued all of them. There are still some available on the website, but I know the matte one, all matte one is still available, but this one is not, I believe. And this one is a soft and this one is a soft and sultry, like I said. And honestly, this gives you, like, you go with the cool tones, but it gives you such a soft wash of like cool toneness, where it's not overwhelming, where your eyes go a little gray and then it just gets too smoky too fast and you don't know what to do. And honestly, the colors build up. They look soft and a little demure in here in the palette, but once you work them into eye, they're so beautiful. They have some beautiful shimmers, and like, they chose the perfect colors for like transitions to mix for your crease shades. You do have to mix them a little bit, because they kind of go from kind of light to dark immediately, but if you blend them out and you work them, it's a beautiful, you can come out with some really soft cool tone looks, and it was so beautiful. I wish they had it discontinued. I haven't tried any Milani palette since, but this one is so good and so easy to work with. It's honestly effortless. Effortless. Alright. We have 3 more palettes left. And then this one is my Luxury palette from Marc Jacobs. They're limited, Marc Jacobs limited edition palettes draw me in more than his regular ones. Like, I really like the one that he has out now, the cherry one. Oh, I kind of want it. I'm thinking about it. And this one is the Stiletto, part of the Stiletto collection that came out last summer, I believe. I think. And this was honestly my first real cool tone palette, and I fell in love with it. I thought I could not do cool tones. I thought it was going to be too intense, too smoky, too fast for me. I thought it was just going to be a hot mess, but honestly, I don't touch the black in any palette really, just like and that's it. So my colors that I use the most are going to be these three for the mattes, and of course the shimmers. And the reason that I really bought this, and I keep saying it anytime that I bring this palette into it, is this shimmer here. That shimmer is so special. It's like one of the most special shimmers I have in my entire collection, and it's so beautiful. But just, these are my favorite like 3 shades of cool tone colors, like this mauvey purpley one, but these brown tones are so beautiful. The formula is creamy and buttery and easy to work with. Like, it blends itself honestly, and the shimmers are so soft but yet so like attractive and intense at the same time, especially this sparkly one. That is deliciousness in a shade. And I also love the packaging. Like, oh, that snap is so nice, but it's just so sleek, and it has that mirrored, even though it gets dirty, but it still looks so luxe. Look to it. Alright guys, 2 more. So the last 2 palettes that I have to mention have some of the most unique color stories, and one was received very well, the other one not so much. However, for me, I love them both. That's why I got them, and I was very sad, one more than the other one, to see them discontinued. So with that, let's go ahead and start with Subculture. Now, I know there was a lot of controversy surrounding when you have dogs, you get dog hair everywhere. And then on these soft velvety palettes. Okay, so I know there was a lot of controversy with Subculture, and of course because of its formula and you know all that. And when I first got this, I was honestly very intimidated by this color story. Let me show you if you haven't seen it before. Very intimidated by this color story because I had just really gotten into, you know, again into eyeshadows that weren't really neutral, because I think at that point all I had was Naked, the Naked palette, the original Naked palette, and Naked 3. So those were very easy palettes to work with, honestly, very beginner friendly. So for me to go from that to this, or very warm tones is what I had, was very intimidating. But I loved it. I love this color story. I knew I had to have it because these were right up my alley. The colors that one that I absolutely love for fall, and 2, just I really love grungy tones, and this really was one of the first really grungy palettes out there. And if there's other ones that were out there before this, just let me know, especially if they're still out there. I want to get them all. I love the grunge tones. Love them. So yeah, but I mean, the reason this was so like so controversial was because people were basically like just swirling away all the pigment and the eyeshadow, like just going like this and swirling the whole thing away. And I mean, I understand that a lot of YouTubers back then were, you know, they knew their stuff, but I also think it depended on who it was. Like, I absolutely loved it. I know that a lot of YouTubers whose tutorials that I absolutely loved this. So I still love it, and I cannot wait to play with it this fall because I refuse to be intimidated by it anymore, and I'm going to work with it because it's probably not going to be good for more than a couple years left. And this is truly one of the most unique color stories that continue to be out there, or that have been out there. And yeah, love this. Of course I will do close-up swatches, but look at that. Oh, beautiful. All right, now the next palette was my baby. This palette was my baby, you guys. Like, I love this palette so much. I still do. I love it so much. I used to create so many looks with this, and I just haven't gotten into it because honestly I was like, when I use it up, it's going to be gone. And that makes me so sad. But it was the Dream Street palette by Colourpop and Kathleen Lights. Man, when she came out with this collection, I was completely blown away. Because as you can see from the background that I painted over with the white, kind of make it a little less dark, this right here is like my favorite shade of all time. Like, I have 2 favorite colors forever, and this is what has been one of them. This teal color and blood red. Those are my two favorite colors, and for this to have been in a palette, especially at the time when this came out, where it was just pure warm tones, reds, oranges, and all that, and for this to come out, oh man, this spoke to my grungy, dark loving soul, and man, I miss it. I get so excited just talking about this palette, just looking at it. Just a beautiful palette, such unique color story, and it just has enough neutrals to where it doesn't feel like, oh, I don't know what to do with this palette, but it has such unique colors, pops of color, to where you want to venture out. This was definitely the palette that I used to venture out, and I felt confident in using it, especially with the formula. I didn't feel like I didn't know how to blend. Definitely love this palette, and it makes me sad that they discontinued it, and by the time I figured out it was being discontinued, it was sold out and I couldn't grab another one. Oh well, what can you do? So yeah, that pretty much completes this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I loved making it, and it just really, when I pull these out, I just have these beautiful color stories, even though they're discontinued, it just inspires me to create. Like the last, I guess, especially since fall started, even when I do my makeup, I literally just want to go and take it off and put it on again with something else, something different. And I'm trying to do more makeup throughout the week, so I can make sure that I get a lot of use out of my palettes and everything, or even my single shadows. Definitely be doing it. I just went off on a whole tangent. Basically, bottom line, I've been so inspired by this weather, by the time, fall, autumn, whatever you want to call it, these colors. It has been inspiring me to really, really dig into my makeup and use it and love it. So yeah, this is just another video that was inspired by that, and just reminds me to pull things out more than anything, to, you know, use them and don't let them go to waste. So yeah, like I said, this completes the video, and this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Let me know down below if you have any limited edition palettes that you love, and you know, limited edition discontinued palettes that you still have in your collection and you loved and you wish they would bring them back. Just let me know, or if you have any recommendations that are limited edition palettes that I don't have, just let me know. I would love to look at those too. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one, and hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Bye bye.